Do you ever wake up and think to yourself, why does my body feel so tight and stiff? Yes, I've been there before as well. But check this out. With being in the physical therapy space for over 10 years now, I've tried plenty of self-myofascial tools. I've also, over the years, put a list together of my top self-myofascial tools that have helped me and my clients or patients stay pain-free, mobile, and loose all year long. So in this video here, I'm going to drop you the secrets. I'm going to show you what they are, those tools, how I use them, and we'll go over it in a fun and easy way. So let's get rolling. Literally. Hey, my name is Shogun, and I'm with Double O Movement Solutions. Our goals are to help people decrease pain, improve mobility, and remain active. So my big word for you all today is self-myofascial release. It's a big word. I know sometimes it doesn't make any sense when we say it, but this is what it means. It means helping your muscles stay relaxed when it's tight, sticky, or glued down. So think of your muscles like Play-Doh. When they get all clumpy, what do? We press on it, we roll on it until the Play-Doh is smooth again. Well, that's what we're doing with our bodies. Rolling, stretching, pressing, so that we feel better and that we also move better. So without further ado, y'all, let's get into tool number one. All right, tool number one, we have the foam roller. So this is one of the first purchases I made fresh out of school. As you can look at the paint there, that thing been used, but this has been game changing. I bought the one with the ridges. It kind of makes it, how do I explain it? This really attacks the tissue a little bit more than just a regular traditional foam roller. So you can make a lot of changes using this bad boy here. A little bit more pricier at that time, but now, sheesh, I think it's even more expensive. But let's look into ways how I use this foam roller. All right. So let's get after it. So I really enjoy using this foam roller to work on the calves. Now, historically, I have had tighter calf muscles on my right compared to my left, historically. Yes, I figured out the root cause of why that is, and I do a pretty good job of staying on top of that, but hey, it happens. You need to work on the tissue work, and I enjoy using this foam roller to do that. As you can see here, I found a spot. I'm moving my ankle back and forth, right? Really working it out. Not too bad. I also, you see me here, I've crossed my left leg over my right. This allows me to add a little bit more pressure to really work it. Yo, this is true character development. You will, you will feel this, as you can see my face. So tight calves can cause more trouble than you think. They can make your ankles feel stuck, your knees work harder, and even your feet get sore. It's like trying to walk with rubber bands that are pulled too tight. So that's kind of where that roller comes in. Just let the roller gently press into the muscle and take your time. After a minute or two, your calves start to feel warmer, softer, and looser. And when your calves move better, your ankles move better, your whole body moves better. That means smoother walking, stronger workouts, and fewer aches later. Look, simple tool, big results. Now let's work on the hamstrings. So that's the big muscle on the back of your thigh. If your hamstrings are tight, bending over can feel hard, your back might feel cranky, and even running or walking fast can feel stiff. Tight hamstrings are like having short ropes behind your legs. They don't let you move very smoothly. So I'm sitting on the floor, I'm lifting my hips up. As you can see here, I'm using my fist to give me a little bit more support for my wrist, and I'm just moving my hips back and forth. I find a sore spot, I pause and take a breath. After a minute or two, my legs feel lighter and it's easier to move. Now let's roll the lats. I like the foam roller to really attack that particular area there. So the lats are the big muscle on the side of your back, right under your arm. If your lats are tight, lifting your arms overhead can feel hard, your shoulders might feel stuck, and even your back can get achy. So tight lats are like wearing a tight jacket that won't let your arms move freely. I'm laying on the side, I'm pinning it, and I'm just moving side to side, really working on that. That helps my shoulder move smoother, help my posture feel taller, and reaching overhead feels easy again. Now let's work on the middle of the back. That's called your thoracic spine. If this area gets tight, you might feel rounded forward. I mean, look, we spend a lot of times texting, typing, driving, eating, doing everything forward. So we have to reverse that. So when your upper back doesn't move well, your neck and shoulders have to work extra hard. So I'll place this foam roller across my mid back. I gently lean back and forth and really take slow breaths, really trying to open up. After a few reps, my chest feels more open, my posture feels stronger, and I can move with more confidence. Now let me show you one of my favorite tiny tools, the lacrosse ball. It might look small, but don't let that fool you. This little ball is like a muscle detective. It will find it and it will target it. It finds the tight, sneaky knots that the big foam roller can't reach. Small tools will produce big results. So I have another one here. This is a bigger mobility ball. I'd say it's like a bigger lacrosse ball, but it has ridges. This one, if I need a little bit more oomph in a certain area, I am going to use this. Sometimes the lacrosse ball can't get into some other spots, so I will definitely use this one right here. And I got the big boy. Man, check that out. Good stuff. I got the ridges there, right? That really allows me to get into certain areas, and then I can twist the ball basically to kind of wind up that fascia. Woo! Talk about development of character. You will be feeling some stuff, but this is game changing. So I have 3 of them. So here are all 3 of them, right? So you can definitely see the different sizes. So the lacrosse ball, and kind of like the bigger, I would say bigger lacrosse ball, and then you have the big boy right there. So this, oh yeah, you can get some work done. Now I really like to use a small lacrosse ball to wake up the bottom of my feet. So if your feet ever feel achy, tired, or sore, especially in the morning, this little lacrosse ball can really help. I place the ball under my foot and I slowly roll it back and forth. Not too fast, just nice and steady. Your foot has lots of tiny muscles, y'all. When they get tight, and they do, it can make your heels hurt, your arches feel stiff, and even your knees and hips have to work harder. When you gently roll the ball under your foot, you're helping those small muscles relax and wake up. After about a minute or so, your foot starts to feel warmer and looser, and when your feet move better, your ankles move better. When your ankles move better, walking, running, and even standing feels easier. Healthy feet mean a stronger foundation for your whole body. Now let's work the triceps. So that's the muscle in the back of your upper arm. So if this area gets tight, your arms might feel stiff when you push, lift, or reach overhead. Even simple things like pushing up from a chair or doing a workout can even feel harder, such as tricep extensions. As you know, guys in the gym, you know how that goes. So I like to place a lacrosse ball right on the tender spot on the floor, and I'm just moving my arms back and forth. I find a sore spot, and I camp out there and make some action. So tight triceps can even pull your shoulders and make your arms feel stuck. It's kind of like having a tight rubber band behind your arms that won't let it move smoothly. So when you loosen this area here, your elbows move better, your shoulders feel lighter, and reaching overhead feels easier and stronger. Again, small ball makes a big difference, and we can make a big difference. We can make some changes. All right, so I'm done with the lacrosse ball. I'm gonna go ahead and grab the bigger size with the ridges. All right, I'm gonna work a small but super important muscle called the infraspinatus. So this one sits on the back of your shoulder blade and helps your arm rotate and move smoothly. So if this muscle gets tight, your shoulder can feel achy, weak, or even stuck, especially when you try to reach or throw as well. So I'll place a lacrosse ball between that area and the ground, and I'm just working my arms back and forth. This one, y'all, sucks. You will feel it, and it does not feel pleasant. All right, so this muscle is small, but it works hard every day. If it stays tight, your shoulders can feel pretty cranky. When you loosen this up, your arms move easier, your shoulders feel lighter, and lifting overhead feels strong and smooth again. All right, so let's go ahead and switch it up. So let's go ahead and start to work on the upper trapezius, aka the upper trap muscle. So that's the muscle right at the top of the shoulders, right between the neck and the shoulders. So if this area gets pretty tight, the neck can feel stiff, and also looking left, looking right as you're driving, or maybe even walking into the store can kind of be a little bit more of a challenge when you have some tension and tightness there. So a lot of us carry stress here, but we just have to find a way to kind of work through that, right? And so that's kind of where the lacrosse ball comes in. So I find a spot, I lay on my back, and I just kind of tug it, right, with the ball in that particular pocket of the upper traps, and I'm moving my arm back and forth, right? So after about a minute or so, the neck can get looser, the shoulders feel lighter, and then, you know, it gets a little easier to move around. So relaxed shoulders means less tension and smoother movement all day long. Yeah, so this is another one that's really big in a lot of folks, especially in our society. Tight pec muscles. Again, what are we doing in our society? We are texting, typing, driving, eating. Everything is reaching forward. Everything's in front of us, right? So we have to be able to reverse that. So we're going to work on opening up the chest using the supernova mobility ball. So your pec muscles are pretty much the muscles in front of your chest. They get tight, your shoulders can roll forward, and your posture can look slouched. So tight pecs can also make reaching overhead feel stiff and or uncomfortable. So I lie face down. I'll place the ball right in that crevice of my shoulder, right on the chest muscle, and I gently rotate my body there, and I'm moving my arm back and forth. I'm also moving my body side to side. So it will feel tender. This is a character developer for sure. It will feel tender, but that's okay. All right, so now I'm going to use the same ball and I'm going to switch positions. I'm going to now attach it towards like right underneath my, I would say my sit bone. So you have your hamstrings that actually come off that particular region. And there's a lot of stickiness and glued down tissue that lives in that world there. So a lot of times using that ball to really work that out is super helpful. So I like to pin it and I like to move my legs side to side to really work it. As you can see here, it's doesn't feel pleasant, but I'm keeping the face straight. But this is really good for that upper hamstring. All right, so this is called a peanut ball. So I have basically two lacrosse balls and I use cold band tape and I went ahead and taped it like this. Shout out to Coach Ray. He actually taught me how to do this back in the day. And I still rock with it because, man, if you go on Amazon, you see the prices of some peanut balls now, it's going to force you to make your own. All right, so let's get into a position with this homemade peanut ball. This is really good to target the neck and the tight muscles that live in the neck. So if the neck feels stiff or tight between the shoulder blades or sore after sitting for a long period of time, this tool is fantastic. So the reason why this works so well is because it fits perfectly on both sides of the spine. It doesn't press on the bone, it presses on the muscles next to them. So I typically lay on my back and I place a peanut ball under my neck or my mid back. And this one here, you see here, I'm kind of moving my head side to side. So I'm just kind of pinning it and I'm moving side to side. I gently relax sometimes and kind of let my body sink in, but I'm just kind of moving side to side. And also what you can do is you can kind of move it downward. As you can see here, I'm just kind of working a little bit of a extension or just trying to open up that mid back region. All right, so those tight paraspinal muscles that live in between them, these ones basically help you sit tall. They finally get a chance to relax. Now I'm adding some arm motion and movement there, which is good. Now, if I want to increase that, all I have to do is lift my hips up. I'm adding some rotation left and right. And also I'm adding some arm motions left and right. So this is more advanced. Now, two arms, more advanced, but it really helps to open that area up, loosen those muscles, and kind of give the spine a reset. Perfect, perfect. Yep. Now I'm just adjusting. I'm finding another area, working that as well. So typically when you're doing this, just find a spot that sucks and camp out and make it happen. Work it. Oh, I missed there. So now I'm just trying to find the lower back area. Very common. So me, gosh, sometimes my back gets particularly tight and this is really helpful to kind of open that up too, right? So you see here, I have it pinned down and I'm just moving my leg left and right, left and right. Not too bad. You'll feel it. Sometimes one side may feel a little bit more tighter than the other, but you make do. You do what you can. Left and right. I like to do both sides. Sharing is caring. But sometimes I may feel one side is a little bit more tighter than the other. So if you really want to take it to the next level, what you'll do is you'll just kind of bring one knee up and down, just kind of like this, back and forth, and then you just kind of switch sides. So very helpful to really work on that lower back area and some of the muscles that get particularly tight in that region. Okay, so what I have here, real simple. You all have this at home. Your rolled up towel, rolled up sheet, something simple, something that you can easily go to your closet and get together. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna basically get into this position here. We call this the tall sitting position. And we're gonna stretch the calves in a simple and safe way using just a towel. So I'm sitting up tall with my legs straight in front of me. And I just grab that towel and I just kind of wrap the front half of my foot and I pull back. You don't have to yank it too hard, just a slow, steady pull until you feel a stretch. in the back of your lower leg. You will feel this. Sometimes you may even feel this stretch into your, basically behind your knee. As we know, the calves do kind of wrap underneath the back of your knee. So sometimes when you do this, you'll also feel that stretch in that particular area there. So, you know, if your calves are tight, your ankles don't bend very well. And when your ankles don't move well, your knees and the hips have to move harder, right? So that foundation, as you know, if the foundation of the house is not built well, man, that house is going to have some issues down the line. So we got to make sure the foundation, which are those dogs, the feet, are taken care of, right? We want to make sure that foundation is on point. So this ankle stretch helps give your ankles back their motion. So as I hold this stretch, I'm taking slow breaths, inhale, exhale, and I just let the muscle relax, right, slowly. You know, because at the end of the day, when your calves are looser, walking feels smoother, squatting feels easier, and your feet feel, you know, more supported. So it's a simple stretch, but it makes a big difference. All right, let me show you something a little bit different. So this is a tempering roller. This is heavy. All right, I call this one a coffee maker because I don't drink coffee, but this will wake you up when you put this on the legs. So this tool uses steady pressure to calm down tight spots. Simple idea, but man, big, strong results. Now let's go ahead and use the tempering roller on the front of the thigh. So that big muscle in front of your thigh, that's called the quadriceps. So I'm sitting tall with my legs straight in front of me, and I am just going to gently place the roller across the top of my thigh. You can just look at my face and you can see that suffering that's going on there. I'm trying to do a good job of keeping a strong face here, but man, talk about development of the character. Gosh, man, this one, it does work it pretty good. So you really don't even have to add any weight. You just gently guide it down the leg, right? So you find a tight and sore spot. Sometimes you can pause, but nah, not on this one. You just kind of want to let it work itself out. You really don't need to press hard. The roller's weight is strong enough, okay? So tight quads can make your knees feel stiff and your hips feel tight. Working this out helps it loosen it up. So this is the smaller tempering roller. It works just like the bigger one, but it's lighter and easier to control. So this makes it a lot easier and, you know, kind of good for the smaller muscles or areas that don't need much pressure. So think of it more like a gentle, focused press compared to the other one. So it's simple, it gets the job done, it's lighter, but you can still get some good relief. So if I don't want to use a coffee maker, right, so I'll just use this one here. So real light. This one, you know, it's about 20 or so pounds, not like the other one. And I'm just adding a little bit of force. I mean a little bit. I'm just kind of guiding it down, working the quads, trying to get all the ankles. You see, I'm turning my foot to the outside. Sometimes you can turn your foot to the inside as well to get a different pathway of the thigh muscle there. And so this is really good. Now I'm kind of turning my foot inwardly. I'm trying to work in the outer part of my quad there. Here's another one I also like to do. I like to kind of put it up upright, find an area that kind of, you know, feels kind of gunked and tight. And I'm just kind of rotating my foot left and right, left and right. So just kind of really forcing that area to get the work that it needs. Really good for a lot of the top of the, you know, thigh, lower hip area, some of the issues that live there. You know, we said a lot in this society, so sometimes you just have to open that up. A lot of those muscles get particularly tight there, so it's always good to work it out. So now I'm just kind of working downstream, working kind of like the outer thigh, leg, now leg, lower leg kind of area. Really good as well. So this area is called the anterior tib. So when it gets particularly tight, your shins can feel sore, especially after walking, running, or going downhill. So being able to work it out helps it to feel much better. So here's my toolbox. Things that I've done, that I've built up over the years, I've collected over the years, and now helps me to target the areas that I need to get targeted all year long. It's right here. So here's how I put it together to stay pain-free all year long, right? We have the foam roller, we got the temper rollers. Very helpful to calm down the large muscles to get everything warmed up and loosened up. Now for the smaller areas, that's where I'm going to use the lacrosse balls. And, you know, I will go up with sides depending on the area that I'm trying to target. Then I have the peanut ball, which is helpful for the spine and the neck and even the lower back as well. And then the stretch strap helps to lengthen the muscles and lock in that new motion. Okay, everybody, That's it. If this video was helpful for you, like it, subscribe to our channel, send it to mama, send it to pops, send it to your friends, send it to your colleagues. And check this out. If you want the list of all of the tools that we've used in this video, the link is in the bio. Disclaimer, I am not affiliated with any of these companies, but I find it's always good to share good, helpful information to people who are potentially in the market for trying to find the best self-myofascial tool for their needs. Hopefully, this video helps solve that. And I'll see you all for the next one.